This is the 2026 Land Rover Defender 130 V8. Is it worth every dollar? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Land Rover of Shreveport for today's video. If you want to know more about this Defender, check out the link down in the description of the video. It has a Carpathian gray exterior color, and you'll see a combination of a matte and a gloss finish between the gray and a little bit of black that's here, but it matches quite nicely. Here on the front end, we're going to have our full LED lighting between the LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and down here on the lower portion of the front end, even though they're not on, there are your LED fog lights. And something that's really nice here, this area is what will typically get a lot of rocks and debris and different things that just come up from driving down the road. A matte finish is going to hide the damage a lot better. It doesn't show it like your gloss finishes do up here. Now we will find that we have our upper and lower grille areas, plenty of airflow coming in for that V8, our Land Rover logo, and then the Defender logo that does stand out quite nicely with the gray finish against this black exterior color. Now, as we work our way around, I'm going to come around this way. If you haven't seen the Defender for 2026, something that's going to be different is going to be this area right here. That is something that has changed for 2026. I like it because it kind of breaks things up, but it doesn't look like it should be some kind of a functional vent or heat extractor or something like that. It's decorative, that's it. We're gonna find our gloss black finish with our 22-inch wheels. You can see the Defender logo right here. It is upside down, but there it is. And all-wheel drive on air ride suspension. It's gonna be a benefit in so many different ways. We'll work our way up, little gloss finish right here. And with our side view mirrors, the gloss finish on your mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in, they're heated, power adjustable, blind spot monitoring is built in on the glass right there on the mirror itself. And as you saw, they're going to be power folding as well. All those great features that I know you're looking for are going to be here. Gloss finish on our door handles. You've got your button right there. That's passive entry. You can walk up and lock and unlock all 4 doors, not only from those front door handles, but right here on the rear door handles. When we work our way up, as far as the surround up here, we're going to have that gloss finish once again. Now you have the matte finish right here with the Carpathian gray. I think that works. It breaks things up a little bit. Nice large windows, very easy to see out of. And then up top, we're gonna have the roof rails. If you want to get your crossbars, you can install those and make it a lot easier to haul a little additional cargo. Also gonna find the panoramic sunroof up there. And something that I like here is that you have a very simplistic to gain access to spare tire. Nice to know that that's going to be here. You do have the tire cover to make things look nice. I'm curious to know, what do you like? Would you rather have the exposed rear tire, or do you like having that cover on there with the Defender logo? Now, one thing you'll notice here, I'm going to come over to this side right here so you can see everything in action. But you're going to notice another change for 2026 is going to be that we have the flush mounted tail lights now in both of these areas right here with your tail lights. All of the lighting back here is going to be flush compared to what we've seen in the last few years. Some minor updates. And we'll have the rear recovery eye. That's what Land Rover calls this. You can also call that a hook if you want to, or put your hook in there. You'll see one of the multiple sensors that will be all over this Defender that help you out to stay safe with your driving aids. You're going to have your trailer hitch right here. You can put your trailer hitch into the receiver, and then our Defender logo right here to finish things off. Under the hood is the 5-liter V8. It is a supercharged engine that makes 493 horsepower and 450 pounds-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60, about 5.4 seconds. That's pretty impressive for an SUV of this size. Top speed, 149 miles per hour. And let's go over here and take a look at the window sticker. I don't know how well you can see this. There is a little bit of a glare out here, but here are your potential MPGs. These are estimated 14 city, 19 highway, 16 combined. and 6.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. One more thing, the gas tank size. It's going to be 23.8 gallons in capacity. You have the gas cap as opposed to capless fuel fill. And once again, estimated numbers here. On a single tank of gas in the city, you should be able to drive about 335 miles. On the highway, that number jumps to potentially 450 miles. But keep in mind, you got all that horsepower and torque under the hood. I know with my heavy right foot, I probably wouldn't achieve those numbers. When it comes to practical use, you have 8,200 pounds of potential towing capacity and 1,760 pounds of payload. Now you'll notice that the rear is sitting way up back here, and you might wonder about that. You can actually raise and lower this. There's a couple of buttons inside to do that with. Now I'm gonna lower it real fast for you, and it doesn't take that long to lower. You can see how quickly it's coming down. Depending on your situation for loading and unloading, you can raise or lower this via the buttons back here. We'll go ahead and come in and show you what's going on. Here are the two buttons. That's going to be for raising the rear. That's going to be for lowering it. And that's not all we have. We're going to also, over here, we've got the power outlet right there. I'm going to let my cameraman show that to you real quick, just so you can see what's going on where that is concerned. Now we're going to find a couple little things back here as far as storage space goes. A small amount of space right there, and then right here, if you're wondering what that is, this is the little emergency triangle that you can use if you're broken down on the side of the road. And I know I'm going to get all kinds of comments about that, but that's just the way it is. It's here. If you need to change your tire, I showed you the spare tire on the rear door right here. All of the tools to do that are located right here underneath the floor, as you can see right there. And how about maximizing cargo space? We're going to lower these seats down right here. Now you will have to do each one individually like that. We'll drop those down. And when we lower things down, here are the numbers. We're looking at 15.3 cubic feet behind the third row. If you lower the third row like I have done, it goes to 43.7. And if you lower the middle row, it's going to be 89 cubic feet total. All right, let's talk about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. First of all, we'll find the front sunroof, your panoramic style sunroof here. That front portion will tilt and slide open, and there is a power shade. It's right up here that will draw forward or back depending on what you need. There's also going to be a sunroof back here. So that's going to be for your third row passengers. Kind of a neat little thing. One thing you'll notice that you don't have is the Safari windows that would normally be in this area on the 130. Something else that you're not going to see here that you'll find on the 110, for example, is the fact that I can't raise the seat cushion up like this. I can lower the seat backs down, as you can see, but we can't get that completely up and out of the way, the seat cushion, and make that as flat as you can in the 110 model. Now, to gain access to the third row, we're gonna use that lever right there on top of the seat, and let's see how agile I am, because it is awfully narrow. I'm gonna jump back here into the third row. We'll bring the seat back. Now, this isn't as far back as the seat will come. It would come to about right here, so it might be a little bit on the narrow side depending on who you are or who your passengers are, but there is room back here for adults if needed. We will find an air conditioning vent right here, and don't know how easily we can show you that, but there it is. There you go. You can see that a little bit better on your screen. And right in front of that, in this area right here, is going to be the USB port. We'll also find our cup holder right here. You also have heated seats back here. That's what this button is for. We're going to have that on both sides. Quite a bit of room back here for this size of SUV. And something you don't see in a lot of three-row SUVs is the oh crap handle for the third row passengers. But when you drop the hammer on that V8, they're going to need it. Now, if you have third row passengers who need a little extra space, there is a release on these middle row seats where you can move the seat back and forth quite a bit, actually. So depending on what's needed where that's concerned, that can be taken care of. As far as our door panel goes, on the rear doors, we're going to have the nice size armrest, the exposed screws, and we'll have a door bin down there. Not the largest door bin I've ever seen, but it should get the job done without any trouble. Something else, to answer a question commonly asked, do the seat backs recline here? Yes, they do. Thankfully, because I would not want to sit at this angle for a long period of time. And we'll find the fold down armrest with the cup holders built in right here. And just like was the case with that third row, you can use this area as a pass-through, so you can lower the middle seat back on the second rows and third row back there, and whatever you need to put through here, you can, and still have room for some passengers. Now, that's not all that we have to talk about here. If you need to hang something up right here, maybe you're a real estate agent or something like that, and you're wearing a jacket or something, you can hang that up there until you need to put it on. We'll also find the rear seat pockets right here, one on the driver and passenger sides. And as far as our air conditioning vents go, two right here. We're going to have our command center for air conditioning. Try and use my arm to help you out with seeing what's going on back here. Now, on the second row, you have the ventilated seats. Go back here and we'll go to our heated seats. We can bring that back. And then we can adjust our temperature, as you can see. We can also adjust the fan speed, and you're going to have a couple of USB ports for connectivity options. And for those of you that were patient enough to make it to this point in the video, here's a Scooby snack for you and the sticker price. $138,361. If you need a little help, you come in to buy this Defender and you say, you know what, I'm a little short on cash, I promise to give you that $1 that you need to get over the hump. Let's see what else you get for the price. Now, our command center here for the shade and the sunroof will be right here. So here's how you open that power shade I showed you earlier. You'll also find the button right there to open and close the sunroof itself. Now, we're going to have our digital rear view mirror right here. If you want to use that as a conventional rear view mirror, you can do that, or you can use it like this. On the passenger side over there, a well-needed oh crap handle up top. And then we're going to have a little bit of space underneath that for storage. The Defender logo will be there. We'll also find a USB port right here. That's going to be handy and dandy. And then down here, let's see if I can open the glove box. My cameraman's a little bit closer to the release. You can see it right there. A little bit of space in there. As far as the passenger side door panel goes, you're going to find seat memory over there for the passenger seat, your exposed screws, the nice large armrest, and a little more space, more of a true door bin as opposed to a bottle holder on these front doors compared to what we saw with the rear. Now we're going to work our way over here to the driver's side. I'm going to grab the camera and show you. We have a few extra options here. Now we will find our controls for the seat memory right there, 3 different settings, and then controls for our side view mirrors. We're going to have our one touch down and one touch up windows at all 4 corners. If you want to lock the windows and the child safety locks, turn the child safety locks, that's how you're going to do that. So when that's illuminated right there, that's how you do that. You don't do that on the doors themselves. Power parking brake is located right down here, and the steering wheel itself is tilt and telescopically adjustable. The control is right here. We're going to have our shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel for gearing up, gearing down. Everything for your cruise control right here. We're going to have the heated steering wheel button. All of our other controls over here. In fact, we can go through a few different things here as far as what's available to adjust. You can see the HUD or head-up settings right there. So you know we do have a head-up display. A little bit hard to see right now, but it is here. And then we have everything else that you might need to work with right there. You can also see you have your digital speedometer and tachometer. We also have the analog style gauges that are part of that if you want to take advantage of that. And then we'll find over here on the right hand side of the steering column, everything for your front wiper right there, front and rear wipers, depending on what you need to do as far as that goes. There's your rear and then the front. And we'll also find everything over here for our headlights, fog lights, turn signal indicators. All of that's going to be here. Now, hopefully this shows up a little bit better. I know when the white background is on, your more daylight setting, it tends to be a little bit harder to see because it has all that stuff working through there as far as the, we'll say, animated look where you see all the lines going back and forth. You can't really see that as much with this particular setting. But this is our Pivy Pro infotainment screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have your navigation, everything for turning the phone on, music right there, and then we're going to have our slope assist right here. If you want to take advantage of that, we can go in here. I'm going to hit OK right there. And it gives you quite a bit of information. You can even see real-time turning of the front wheels. So if you're off-road, which this model is very capable off-road, but most people will never take advantage of that. But you can see what all is here. To come back out of that screen, we just hit that home button. There's your compass, and then we have the wheel info right there, as you can see, just to show you what's going on here so you can see. Now, I can go right here and hit the 4 squares right there. That brings up all of our different icons so you can see what all is here. By the way, with the seats, they are power adjustable, heated and ventilated, and lumbar support is on the seats themselves. It's not in the screen like the Range Rovers, but you can see what's all going on here with that. And we'll come back out of that. There is Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We've got our camera views, and there are a lot of views all around. Now, that's our front view camera right there, as you can see on the right-hand side. If I go into reverse, I will bring up the rear view camera, but here's the good thing. If you want to see the front or rear view camera, you don't have to be in reverse or drive for anything to come up. You can look at that from multiple angles, and there actually are a lot of different angles here to make it easy to see all around your Defender 130. That's going to make life very easy for you. We can hit the 3D view right there. That's going to just bring us back to where we just started. But just to show you a little bit of what's here, in fact, let me go back in there and show you the off-road view. There is what that's going to look like. And then for towing, if you need to hitch up to a trailer or just see what's going on behind you, you can do that. That's going to make things a little bit easier where that is concerned. And you can see some of our other features that are going to be here. We'll go under vehicle information right here and get rid of that. If you want to see the vehicle dimensions, you can see right here. If somebody says, well, how tall is your vehicle? How wide is your vehicle, your Defender? That's where you're going to go to do that. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of what all is here. There's media. You've got your towing right here. If you need to go in and do anything with that, you can add your trailer right here. You can see what's on the screen as far as that goes, depending on the type of trailer you're going to be using. So some neat little things going on where that is concerned. Now, I'm going to come back out of this screen, and if you're wondering how I changed this from that light background to the dark background, here's how I did that. I just went here. Now, if I wanted to go back to the light theme, you can also go with auto. You can do that. I'm going to go back to dark. There's your light theme. And there is dark. You can turn the screen off. You can come right here to home screen if you want to, and you can edit the layout. Quite a few things you can do. If you want to adjust the audio, your treble, your bass, your subwoofer, this is where you come to do that. There's quite a few different things you can do. And everything is found here as far as the different options. If you need to do a software update, here's where you come. You want to change the language, you can do that right there. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Not a difficult screen to learn and use. And we work our way down. Here's the button to start the engine, start and stop the engine. Here is our shifter. Now, one thing about the shifter, there's a button on the front. You need to push that button. That allows you to go into reverse, neutral, or drive. And if you want to feel a little bit more involved in driving, you can also go right there. That's more for off-roading. If you need to change gears or just stay in first gear, you can do that for your low traction situations. And then you'll have to move it back over here and hit the P button to go back into park. Dual zone climate control. We actually have 4 zones of climate, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. If you want to turn that pesky auto stop start off, you can do that right there. Some of you might like it and you might want to turn it on. There's where you're going to do that. And depending on your issues with going up and down hills, you can hit the button right there. You can see that that turns the auto stop start off and leaves everything on to help you with that. Now, as far as your temperature control goes, here's where you're going to do that. If you push on that, just like with the rear controls, this is where you come to turn your ventilated and heated seats on and off. Depending on what you need to do, we push that again, we bring our temperature back up. The fan speed is controlled by pushing this button, and then you will control the fan speed right there. As you can see, I'm going to turn that back to 2 just to give you a little bit of an idea of what is going on with that. You can also have everything come up here for your driving modes if you want to take advantage of that. As you can see, let's just go in there real quick. You can see that you have eco and all of your different modes here. There's actually quite a bit going on, different things you can turn on and off. As far as that goes, we're going to just turn that off right there just to show you what's here. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can do this, but just to show you where that is and how you get to it. Traction control right there if you want to turn that on or off. And then right here, we can turn on recirculate. Underneath that is something that I like. Number one, we have a lot of space within this area. There's a USB port. Then if you want to conceal that away and take advantage of a place to store your sticker, you can do that. That just happens to be what's there. Or we can leave that like that, depending on what you're interested in having as far as your setup goes. We're going to have the cup holders right here. I do like the lack of a gloss finish here. It is all a matte finish, works out well. And your wireless charging pad is located here right in front of the center console, as you can see. Now, if you want to keep your brochure nice and cool, you can stick that into your refrigerated console, depending on what you need to do with that. You've got two different settings here. Here's how you turn that on. That's going to be high, that's going to be low, but it does get rather cool in there, and that's going to work where that's concerned. I'm going to leave everything where it was. And you can use the center console lid as an armrest. All right, here we go out on the test drive with the Defender 130. It has a good, comfortable ride quality. The seats themselves seem to be pretty comfortable. It's hard to say how they would work long term if I was on a long test drive or a 2-hour drive or whatever that is. I only get a few minutes, so it's hard to say for sure. I'm curious to receive feedback on those of you who are actual owners. But as far as taking advantage of getting up to speed, well, you won't do any better than you can with this 5-liter supercharged V8. It definitely does the job just fine, no problems. And while I know the majority of owners are never going to put a Defender like this through its true capabilities, you don't have to necessarily go off-roading or anything like that to take advantage of what this Defender is capable of. Any low traction situation is where that is going to be beneficial, whether it's going to be issues with heavy rain or snow and ice, whatever the case is, you definitely won't have any trouble at all getting traction and doing what you need to do where that is concerned. A lot of adjustability built into the driver's seat here, and you've got the steering wheel that is also very adjustable, so that's going to help out to set things up just perfectly. We had to go down one area further to make our U-turn than normal because I didn't want that vehicle right there coming out in front of us, that SUV. But that's why we made our turn a little bit further than we normally do down the road. But that gives you an idea on how nice of a tight turning radius this Defender 130 has. And for those of you that are saying, Tom, I want to buy a Defender, but I need a little extra cargo space, well, you do have this 130 to choose from that gives you that over the 110. And so there are some potential advantages where that's concerned. The gas pedal and the brake pedal are easy to manage. The seats themselves seem comfortable along with that comfortable ride quality. I like the adjustability that you have here for the steering wheel and the driver's seat. Everything works well, but it's easy to see out of regardless because you have the digital rear view mirror. You're also going to have your blind spot monitoring built into your side view mirrors and all of those additional safety features that are so useful when driving down the road, especially if this is something you haven't driven before. As far as its size, a vehicle like this, that's going to be beneficial to you as well. One way or another, those things will come in nice and handy anytime you're out driving. You also have all of the different camera views that help out immensely to be able to see what's going on all around you. And the technology here is not that difficult to learn and use. For those of you that may be new to something like this, as far as the center screen goes, different features such as that, don't worry. It's easy to learn and use. If you have any trouble, you're in the right place already with YouTube to learn using tutorials that are going to be out here, and you're not going to have any trouble with that. Now, a quick little exhaust note, just to let you see how that sounds. We're not going to get on it too hard, but hopefully my mic did that justice. You're looking for the growl of the V8 along with the performance that comes with it. This is definitely something you need to consider. There it is, the 2026 Land Rover Defender 130 V8. Is it worth every dollar? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. What do you think's missing from this Defender? I'm always curious to know what your thoughts are. Tell me what you think. Remember, there's a link in the description of the video if you want to come in and buy this model at Land Rover of Shreveport. I'd like to say a special thanks to our friends at the dealership for loaning us this Defender for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That's very helpful and appreciated. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.